You've been listening on and off all day. What is your take on the law professors that are talking today?
I've been watching as much of the impeachment hearing as I can when I'm not doing other committees or not voting on the floor. And I'm trying to sit in on some of those to get a firsthand view. I feel I owe it to my constituents to be as on top of this as possible. What I'm seeing from today, unfortunately, is there's nothing new on the part of the Democrats. They're bringing in professors, law professors from around the country who say, well, I think this is impeachable, but of course they're donors to the Democratic Party. They were saying months ago that President Trump needed to be impeached. So they came in with a preconceived bias. You know, it's bad enough that 17 of the 24 Democrats on the Judiciary Committee have already voted for impeachment even before the July 25th call came up, and for other reasons. It had nothing to do with Ukraine. So they're biased. You know, this is not an impartial hearing, unfortunately, or it's not a fact-finding mission. They're just trying to convince American people that they have a case, and they've already come to a decision, and they are going to impeach Donald Trump. Make no mistake about it, whether they say we are open-minded or not. Every single one of them is going to vote for impeachment, and they're just looking for any reason to do it, and if it wouldn't have been this, it would have been something else.
A lot of those professors are talking about the founding fathers and talking about that they would get rid of the president. What do you think about that kind of analysis?
I like what Professor Turley was saying, Jonathan Turley. He's saying that there's skimpy to no evidence, and he's right. He's the only one who's saying that today, and he's the only one who's right. When you think of the language of the Constitution, let's get back to the Constitution. Bribery, that's a crime. Treason, that's a serious crime punishable by death, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. All those four categories are crimes. Now, they say we don't like his judgment. And yeah, maybe people can differ on the judgment call, whether President Trump should have talked about corruption on that phone call or not. That's a judgment call. There's nothing impeachable because there was no crime. And the 55-day delay with the military aid to Ukraine, a lot of things can count for that. I mean, actually, that's moving pretty fast in government circles. 55-day delay, I wish it wouldn't have happened, but that's not, these are not impeachable events, and they're exaggerating for them to say that it is.
It seems like Professor Turley, like you were talking about him, he called the process dangerous. Mm-hmm. That was a pretty strong word for him to use. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree that this is a dangerous precedent. It's basically weaponizing political differences. And they're running the risk that if the tables are turned in the future, a Republican, I would hope not, for just trivial reasons, but it runs the risk that a Republican majority could vote to impeach a Democratic president because of policy differences or because of judgment calls were different. You know, Barack Obama did a lot of things that I really disagreed with, but no one made a serious effort to impeach him. A president has a lot of latitude to conduct foreign policy and to conduct the executive branch of the government. And although I disagreed vehemently with Barack Obama, impeachment wouldn't have been the answer. Defeating him at the polls with a better candidate or putting someone in after he's done in office to reverse what he's doing, which is what Donald Trump is doing, is the answer.
The professors were also talking about the term other crimes and misdemeanors that's in the Constitution. And they said, well, it's because the framers at the time didn't know that computers would exist or wires would exist or everything that would exist. It seems like they're saying that the framers gave a lot of broad options to people nowadays in today's time. And so do you think that would allow the Democrats to push forward even more strongly, that kind of argument?
Putting in the phrase other high crimes and misdemeanors is kind of a catch-all phrase, and it does encompass things like with the advent of technology that wouldn't have been in existence perhaps in the past. But it's still crimes and misdemeanors. They have to be serious criminal type of actions, not a policy difference, not a difference in whether that judgment call should have been made or not.
Okay. So you do not think President Trump committed any crimes or misdemeanors?
President Trump did not commit any high crimes or misdemeanors. He committed no impeachable offense. Yeah, we can argue whether it was appropriate or not. Maybe it was inappropriate. I don't know. But it's not impeachable. And they're trivializing the Constitution, and this is dangerous precedent for them to go down this road. It's taking a divisive thing and making our already divided country even more divided as a result.